Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a conversation that I was having a few days ago in one of my all-girls GroupMes. So for those that don't know, GroupMe is like this online app that's like a group chat, and so you can talk to a bunch of different people at the same time about whatever was going on. So when we were having this conversation a couple days ago, we were talking about the boycotts, and there's this, text messages going on, and a lot of people are talking about the specific companies that were targeted. So these companies have been targeted before, and then I would go on Facebook and people are, basically giving some sort of criticism to why we're picking these companies. And so I wanted to give my opinion on why certain companies are always picked when we mention boycotts, and why I think they're picked, and why I think that they are a good company to pick versus some people are saying they are a bad company. So the two companies that were listed that I want to talk about is Target and Coca-Cola. Now, the argument is that these companies actually give to the black community. They give to HBCUs, they give to different organizations, and why are we picking these companies versus companies that, maybe don't do anything or aren't as vocal about giving stuff to the black community and what they actually give. So when I say vocal, I mean aren't as vocal and open about, hey, we're giving a certain amount of our money each year to this organization or this school or this thing that helps benefit the black community. So in my opinion, I feel that we boycott companies that make a lot of money from the black community every year. So we are a large group of consumers in that company, but when tragedy strikes and injustice is, known and is the topic of conversation throughout the country and sometimes throughout the world, they are silent. They don't have a comment. They don't have a word to say. They don't say hashtag Black Lives Matter. They don't decide that they're going to take a platform and speak out against it. They don't even decide that they're going to create a group within the organization to figure out what they can do. And a lot of these companies have, social justice groups or groups that are put together or initiatives that are put together to give back. It's where they get together with different drives. They're participating in different not-for-profits. They're partnering with the Boys and Girls Club. Like, a lot of companies do this. It may have a different name for it, but a lot of companies do this. So let's go into it. Target. When we're talking about these companies, even though, yes, they may give a certain amount to the community, let's also talk about where they have failed and how they may be giving a certain amount to the community, but it may not look anything like what they're bringing in from that community. Like, it may just be a tax write-off. It may be just something that looks good for their marketing. Like I said, these companies are very open about what they're giving because we want to see that, so that when things happen, we're not really putting them on the same light as we would others. And I encourage people to do even more because they are making so many millions of dollars each year from our group. We should then be asking and requiring more and more as we're giving more and more. So with Target, last year we had Annie. Annie was, everywhere, and we were so excited for the rendition. The little girl, her name is Quivenjane, and little Quivenjane was so cute. We all fell in love. But also remember that during that Annie rollout, Target had an Annie collection, and Target purposely made the Annie of the ad white, even though the Annie of the movie was black. Why would they do that? Why don't they see that there's something wrong with that? I actually cannot think of a time where a lead for a movie was being remade in some sort and they didn't have the actress or the model that was resembling the movie lead actress not look like the lead. But when there's a black rendition of an Annie with Annie being black, we decide that we're gonna go with a girl that looks nothing like her. And no, we're not even gonna try to look like her. We're gonna make her white. And there was like a big thing. There was change.org petitions being made, all of these articles, all these different people were voicing their opinion and how they wanted to change. And Target said, no, no ma'am. We are not going to change it. We're going to keep it how we are. And we don't care about your petitions. We don't care about all that. And what do? We maybe riled up a little bit. Some maybe weren't even aware that this was happening because, you know, the movie may have not been in our target audience at that time. And we're back spending, back consuming, back doing that. So I, would push in like, yes, not only do you need to step up when Black Lives Matter, but we also are going to check you saying that your past isn't squeaky clean. You have a jaded past that, we're not going 60 years ago, 50 years ago. We're going in the past 3 years. There's been some sketchy stuff that's been going on. And then when you boycott these big businesses, you boycott for them to, one, make a change. There was an argument that we as a whole, we need to have an ask. And I don't think we do. I saw a shirt that said, this is not your mama's civil rights. And I thought that's so true. There is not going to be a Martin Luther King, a one voice, one face for the movement. There's a lot of moving pieces going on. Everybody has a role. And Black people did not start racism. Racism is a white people issue. Racism made you a slave. Racism segregated you. Racism denied Black people to have housing loans. Racism decided separate but equal was okay. And all of that was funded and led by white people. So white people need to help in ending racism. We don't need an ask. You are a 500 plus Fortune 500 company. You are a mover and a shaker. You pick an issue that we need help with and lead it. We need lobbyists. We need police to have insurance so that when they kill an unarmed person, they just can't go back to the job. We need banks to be giving out loans to Black people and stop discriminating. We need banks that are in our Black neighborhoods to actually give back to the neighborhood like they should, like they're supposed to. We need all of these things, and with all of the MBA grads that you have, all of the super smart people that have worked their way up the ladder from the bottom, we need help with that. We need more Black people hired, and we need even more Black people promoted. Because when I go to these companies, yeah, there's a whole bunch of Black entry level, but how many C-level employees do we have at these organizations? So let's go on over to Coca-Cola. I believe Coca-Cola has one Black C-level employee. I could be wrong, but the amount of money that they bring in does not equate to what their employees look like. Yes, they hire a lot of Black people, but they hire a lot of Black merchandisers, which is the physical laborers, the bottom of the pole. And as you go up and up, it seems like it's far and few between, or the people that have climbed their way up, they've been with the system for 16, 17 years. Well, what does that look like for millennials? And with Coca-Cola, you can just Google not only discrimination cases, but they used to give close dated and expired product to stores in the Black community. Stores such as Walmart, Food Depot, things like that, to give an example. And I'm not entirely 100% sure that that practice has stopped. And if you're looking for more information, all you have to do is Google Coca-Cola gives expired product to the Black community, and you'll see a whole bunch of articles being written about it. The first article that pops up was written in 2012. So this is something that has been really recent and has probably gone on for as long as we can remember. And like I said, not sure that it stopped. So for everyone defending, this is what they're also doing. This is where we can hold them accountable right now to stop giving us out of date and close dated product and poisoning us, and to also do what we need to do on the other end as far as helping us, since we are so much of their spending power and so much of their consumers. And lastly but not least, let's talk about Coca-Cola and let's talk about Sprite. Sprite's main focus this year is hoops and hip-hop. They are targeting to the black community, and the black community has in turn made Sprite the #1 lemon lime soda in the world. So yes, they may give a certain amount to these HBCUs, but the amount of money that we're bringing into them does not even compare. And to me, because we are so much of these two companies as far as making their sales, making their quota, their consumer, their target market, then we need to hold them even more accountable. But I also wanted to show you these examples that are not old at all, of how they are not treating you 100% holistically fair as a black person and as your black counterparts. I wanted to point out how these two companies are not always treating you guys fair. And this is something that has happened in the last few years. Because please believe, yes, they are giving to the black community and this, that, and the other, but they are also having initiatives where they are giving back to their own community, to white communities, to schools, to kids, to different organizations. Like, it's not just like, oh, we only give to the black community. Like, other people are benefiting as well. And I just felt that there was a need to point that out. So please definitely write back how you feel, if you have any questions. But to me, a company like Coca-Cola can move mountains compared to a company like Aldi. So yes, we target the movers and the shakers. You want real change. These companies that you want real change from actually rely on you to make their quotas. So we're going to in turn keep a lot of the standards extremely high for these companies and expect them to say something when we need help. And right now, we're screaming, it's our time. Black lives matter. Black dollars matter. So black lives should matter. So what are you going to do about it? Help us. Oh, and while we are on the Buy Black tip, I just wanted to end with, I just created a blog post on averageblackgirl.org that has all of the black-owned banks, and if you click each bank, it'll take you to my site, which is Melanin Business, and it'll let you know where the nearest branch location is so that you can find your nearest one and get to it. And so check that out. Thanks.